Here is one thing everyone gets totally wrong about dopamine detox and how to actually do it the right way. My name is Etai, I'm a yoga teacher, and I use this framework to quit some of my most horrible addictions. So I'm about to break down exactly how to do a dopamine detox the right way, and then at the end, I'm gonna give you a few resources that really help in overcoming compulsions related to dopamine. Before we get into it, I encourage you to take a deep breath in through your nose, hold it at the top for a sec, indulge in that deep breath, and exhale through thinly pursed lips out of your mouth like you're blowing through a straw. Maintain that exhale for as long as you can. Feel how that allows you to sink a little bit deeper into your body and relax. All right, let's get into it. First of all, let's break down what dopamine is and why it drives us towards addictions and compulsions. Dopamine is one of 4 happy hormones in our body, but it's the only one that can be really easily hijacked. Sugar can hijack it, social media can hijack it. Anything that gives you instant gratification is essentially throwing your dopamine way out of balance. The reason your dopamine balance is so vulnerable is because it's known as the reward chemical. Your dopamine actually peaks right before you do the activity that you really want to do. So a gambler's dopamine actually peaks right before they spin the slot machine. A stoner's dopamine peaks right before they take their first hit. So this chemical is increased as a way to motivate you to pursue an activity. It's not actually the reward for the activity itself. That's why sometimes when you get in a habit, it has diminishing returns of pleasure. It's like the first time you hit your vape in your life, it's probably gonna feel really different than the 1000th time. And you can extend this for any example under the sun. But it's just the way it is in modern life. You know, dopamine drives you to these really cheap thrills and motivates you to pursue rewards that leave you feeling empty. But at the same time, if you have deeply entrenched neurological pathways that have led you to form any habits related to dopamine, like a sugar addiction, like a scrolling addiction, like a drug addiction, quitting cold turkey is gonna feel miserable, and this is where most people get it wrong. Look, on one level, you know that the thing that you're addicted to is bad for you, but on a deeper, more subtle level, your body is trained to want it. So if you're still in the throes of addiction or compulsion and you quit cold turkey, your body's gonna really suffer and you won't be able to stop thinking about that one thing you can't have. It's gonna be torturous. And so for many people, a dopamine detox ends up being a punishment and just a not fun process at all. But here's how you actually should be doing it in order to make it seamless and even fun. So the good news is that dopamine is only one of 4 happy hormones in your body. And today I wanna talk about another one called oxytocin. Oxytocin cannot be hijacked in the same way that dopamine can, because oxytocin is the hormone of love and connection, not of reward and instant gratification like dopamine. Oxytocin is what you feel when you give your loved one a hug, when you pet a dog, when you're walking through nature, when you perform at the talent show and everyone claps, when you receive a compliment, when you sing a song that you love, when you express gratitude, when you feel safe, when you feel in love. Oxytocin is immensely powerful, and it has the ability to overpower any dopamine craving. So this is what I propose. This is what works for me and a lot of my students. When you are trying to overcome an addiction or a compulsion that has to do with dopamine, you can't just cut it out and sit around all day twiddling your thumbs thinking about your next fix. You're gonna have a way easier time of quitting if you actually spend time doing activities that boost oxytocin. When you get a craving, don't just sit there and think about how much you want it. Get up, go give your dog a belly rub. Get up, go hug a tree. Get up, put on your favorite song and start dancing. That craving is gonna go away. Even better, get up and go spend time with somebody you love. They say that community is the enemy of addiction. And yes, that's true for accountability reasons, but more importantly, the feelings of love you experience around your family and friends are way more powerful than the cravings you have for these activities that isolate you. Because all these dopamine addictions are very solitary acts, you must admit. Go get around people and your oxytocin will overpower your dopamine imbalance. So that while you're on the path to recovery and you are detoxing from these activities, you will be enjoying yourself and feeling love and connection instead of suffering. And once you get in the habit of doing this, you will realize how much more powerful oxytocin is. You will get addicted to oxytocin and forget about dopamine. Now, I want to be clear about something. When I say forget about dopamine, I mean forget about the addictions. You can't actually forget about dopamine, and you can't actually even do a dopamine detox. Dopamine is a very important chemical in your body because it's what drives you to eat food or drink water or do things that are important for your survival, right? If you actually detox the dopamine and have no dopamine being produced in your body, then you're gonna have a very hard time being a human being. So there's no such thing as detoxing from dopamine. There's only detoxing from the addictions that are caused by dopamine. And by immersing yourself in these activities that boost oxytocin, you are gonna allow dopamine to return to what it was meant for. That is motivating you to be the best human you can be, not motivating you towards instant gratification. So I want you to leave a comment below and list a few things that boost oxytocin that you really enjoy. It could be going on a brunch date with your girlies. It could be taking a walk through nature. It could be watercoloring with your mom. Just let me know which oxytocin boosting activities work best for you. So in addition to this outline for how to do the proper dopamine detox, which involves oxytocin boosting activities, I want to leave you with a few resources that are really going to help you overcome these dopamine cravings. Number 1 is the book that taught me everything I know on this topic. It's called Dopamine Nation by Anna Lemke. She's an amazing scientist who researches this, and she wrote the definitive book on how to overcome addiction. I think you'll find it really helpful. Also, when a craving hits and you just can't think of an oxytocin boosting activity to do, the next best thing is Yoga Nidra guided meditation. I have a few of these on my channel, but there are so many all across the internet. And you'll find that by doing a yoga nidra guided meditation, your cravings are gonna go away. That's because it's like a nervous system reset that puts you back in touch with your body and puts you back in touch with presence. So I highly recommend Dopamine Nation by Anna Lemke and Yoga Nidra guided meditations if you're on the journey of overcoming addictions. Now listen, just being a human in the 21st century means we all have something in our life that we're dealing with as it relates to dopamine-fueled instant gratification. Maybe you love to online shop. Maybe you can't stop scrolling. We all got that one vice. But we won't be able to recover from it unless we admit it to ourselves. So I want you to go in the comments right now and just be honest to yourself. What is that one thing, that one dopamine-fueled habit that you know you probably should kick but you just can't find the strength to? For me, I'm gonna be honest, it's my phone. That's the tallest mountain I'm climbing right now. I'm sure a lot of us can relate because the phone is kind of the most advanced form of addiction where there's an actual algorithm that's trained to reverse engineer our dopamine response and get us to spend more and more time on there. And in just a few minutes of scrolling, your dopamine is so out of whack that you can't stop. So leave a comment if you relate, or leave a comment if it's something else that you're dealing with. And I'll respond to your comment and let me know if I've gone through something similar. I'm sure a lot of people have, and I'm sure you'll be validated by how many people resonate with your comment. Anyway, I hope this helped you. I hope it led you to understand a little bit more about how our bodies work and how to be a full-fledged human here in this world. If my words leave you with any questions, then just leave a comment below and I will answer your question. Or just comment and introduce yourself. I want to say what's up back so that we can be friends. Thank you so much for being here. I love you so much. I'll catch you next time. Peace and love.